Little John went to sleep eating raisins.
Oh.
What do I do?
About what?
Well, do I wake him up to brush his teeth again, or I just let him go?
Well, did he swallow?
Yeah, he's not gonna choke.
Well, then I'd just let him sleep, dear.
All right. He's a regular squirrel, that kid. He's got raisins stashed all over this house.
Oh, he has not only raisins, he's got pretzels.
Huh?
He gets them from Kevin and he brings them upstairs. And then he gets distracted. He leaves them wherever he's at. And I come along, picking him up. He's got, half a dozen pretzels in there, half eaten.
Uh-huh.
Has he taken the last of the antibiotics?
Noon tomorrow. He's got 2 more. Told me tonight. Ear okay.
I think it is. God bless him.
Do you think he'll remember? I mean, will he ever be able to tell us about how he spent that night in the park?
He may. I was always amazed at the amount of information that you children dredged up. Of course, around here, the younger ones had the older ones remembered for them and describe it over and over again, so I could never tell what had been told or what had been remembered. Frank, he's going to be all right. Being lost was a frightening experience for him, but he certainly hasn't been cowed by it.
Oh, thank God he's had you and Da. And here, some kind of stability. But still, you know, it's not right for you to bring up your grandson.
Oh, Frank, I don't feel that I'm bringing him up. I mean, he's staying here with your father and me, but certainly you are the one who's responsible for him. And the major input is being placed there by you. And he knows who his father is. He knows that Dee's his mother.
I want him with me.
Of course you do.
But the only solution to that problem, for the time being, is for me to be here as much as possible. With Dee in and out, and Mary and Ryan and...
Francis, now stop it. Stop the worrying. I mean, you don't hear me complaining about it now, do you? I love it. I mean, you're right, of course. I mean, it can't go on forever. It's just, a temporary solution that is good for all of us at the moment. So, would you do me a favor and stop worrying about it?
I guess it was just out there for so long, it's hard to let go. I mean, me and Jill, little John. More children and building a secure life around them. Our work. This city. That's what was there, finally, for little John. And I guess what still surprises me is how Jill could let it all go so easily.
Look, I know how hard it is for you to give up on anything. And I also know it's particularly hard for you to give up preconceived ideas about who I am and what I am. But please, believe me, if I gave you the impression at noon today that I was taking you for granted, or that making love to you is anything except very special and precious to me, I'm sorry.
I believe that. Thank you for your apology.
But you're still mad.
No, I wouldn't be here if I were. Part of today is that I'm still trying to get over Frank walking in on us. I hate the thought that he thinks that we've been lovers all along, and I know that he has to believe that. And also, it's getting used to the feeling of the finality of it all. And in such an unhappy way. So you see, I had other things on my mind this morning besides making love.
And on a personal level, anyhow, I was thinking about very little else. Hey, got an idea.
All right.
Let's go back and start the whole day all over again. What do you say?
Well, there are a lot of things that I would like to start over again. But we can't. So, may I amend your suggestion?
Certainly.
Why don't we just, go from here?
going to get curvature of the spine.
You've been telling me that for 30 years.
Beyond that, you're running the risk of starving to death right in front of my eyes. Go on downstairs and get something to eat.
It's not a bad idea.
Can you believe I ever fit into this?
I remember that you fit into that.
It seems impossible.
I remember the day entirely.
Ah, yes, it was a beautiful baptism. I remember Monsignor Lynch. He used to give terrible long sermons, but he was splendid at baptisms and funerals.
Pat says he remembers it too, but he couldn't.
Well, he could. He was 2 years and 2 months, and he had an affinity for parties even then.
I'll bet he remembers your telling him about it. Shall I rinse this out or just well enough alone?
Well, give it a shake and a quick press.
Okay, I need to catch the lace on the collar.
Here.
I got it. Where are you going?
Eat.
Come back when you're through.
Sure.
I haven't asked him to be Ryan's godfather yet.
Oh, really?
Well, who else?
Did you call Kathleen?
About 10 minutes ago. Deirdre has chicken pox. She's expecting Maura to get the many minutes, so Art's staying with the kids, and Cass will be on the morning train.
Oh, dear. And have you heard from Jumbo and Sister Mary Joel?
They'll both be here. Sister's coming in from a conference in Hartford and then driving back again.
And has she spoken with Jack?
Not recently. I'm not thinking about it, Ma. I'm not expecting him at the baptism. Not counting on him for anything.
All right, darling. I wasn't suggesting otherwise. Oh, Mom.
Door's open.
Come on in, honey.
Any news about little Angel?
It's all a mess.
Ma said there wasn't a fracture.
No, there wasn't. That cheered us all up for a while, but I'm telling you, this kid is really sick. Now, Pat says there might be a bruise and bleeding in the brain.
Oh, Bob.
Alicia's being so good about it, trying to reassure me when her brother's the most important thing in this world to her. And I go and hit him in the head with a baseball.
Alicia doesn't feel that way about it, and neither does anyone else.
Yeah, but I do. I threw the baseball.
Yes, Bob. It was an accident.
I can still hear the sound of that ball hitting him right in the head. On a city street, I'm 30 feet away. There's traffic, there's stuff all around making noise. It was just like a ball going right straight into a glove. You're like,
Bob, don't do that.
Yeah. There was an awful lot of bloody incidents that occurred to you and Francis when you were growing up. I mean, playing football and basketball and even roller skating, and the two of you seem to survive pretty good.
And that's not the same thing, Maeve. I'm telling you that this kid is really sick. He's in trouble. I mean, the convulsion was bad enough, but when he came to, you know, he wasn't there. He was in, and then he was out. And it hurts.
Well, is there anything any of us can do?
No, not tonight, anyway. I just hope Pat can do something, you know.
Well, you know he can and he will. I'm glad you took Angel straight to neurology and that Pat was on duty.
Yeah, that was a break, I'm telling you. Alicia likes Pat. She trusts him. I kind of think she feels that she has people she can depend on. Well, I got to go on a stakeout in about an hour, and I don't know how much time that's going to involve. Then I got all that darn departmental paperwork. It's the end of the month, right?
Yeah.
So what I was wondering if you guys could do, could you kind of keep a tab on Alicia and call me if anything happens, you know? About her, I mean. I can always check the hospital and see how Angel's doing.
Oh, we'd be glad to do that.
Okay.
Bob,
Yeah.
will you have to miss Ryan's baptism?
Well, let's hope not, hon. Keep my fingers crossed. See you later.
Love you. Take care. He really likes Alicia.
I think he does. Not bad.
Why is this the first time we've ever danced together?
Serious oversight, isn't it?
It certainly is. You're very good.
Well, thank you.
Where along the way did you learn to dance?
Well, I sort of...
Taught yourself.
No, I was going to say that I avoided dancing as long as possible, but my last year of residency, there was a dinner party at McGill for a visiting fellow with whom I desperately wanted to work the following year. Well, I heard his wife had considerable influence with him, and she loved to dance. So I locked myself in my room for 3 nights running with a dance book diagram and a stack of records, and I practiced. Oh, did I practice?
Did you finally get to dance with the wife?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did.
And did you finally get the appointment?
Yes, although I decided the following spring that I didn't want it after all.
Ah.
And went to dance class.
How did you know that?
Certain things in this life are predictable.
To Miss K. Dean, who taught a class of 14 boys and girls in a huge apartment on Riverside Drive. My permanent partner was Glover Weiss. He used to count in my ear. He was too shy to do anything else.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4. No, I'm sorry. I don't know how to do that.
Come on, it's easy. Watch my feet. Seneca, I said my feet.
Your feet are very nice, but I'd rather watch all of you.
Well, all of me is thirsty, so may we sit down for a while?
I would love that.
Thank you. This is such a nice evening. Thank you.
Big improvement over lunchtime, isn't it?
You know, I feel so much closer to you than I used to.
That's encouraging. But on the other hand, we've shared a lot these past few months.
People share whole lifetimes together. They marry each other, they have children, they raise them, they make love. They sit down to thousands of breakfasts together, and they never know one another at all.
You're right.
So you see, I don't think that this has to do with Edmund, or our making love, or sharing times like this together. I think part of it is because...
I think I know what you're going to say.
You probably do. But I think part of it is because the distance between Frank and me has increased so steadily.
Yeah, but not so that he doesn't pop up in your thoughts and our conversations about once every 10 minutes.
I'm sorry. You have been very patient.
No.
Well, I'll say one thing for you, no matter what.
And what is that?
You are painfully honest.
Not all the time.
Really? I think that I have to question that.
No, I have been known to withhold the truth or equivocate on occasion.
Well, not my experience with you.
Don't be too sure.
Why don't you just give me an example?
Well, for instance, I don't want to be at this table talking about stuff like that. I want to be at the dance floor with my arms around you. That's what I want.
Well, all you have to do is tell me. See, honesty is not only the best policy, as I have so bitterly learned, but it also gets the best results.
Hi.
Did you know Little John talks in his sleep?
He'll talk to you in his sleep.
I heard him a minute ago. And I went in to see what was going on, and he was lying there, eyes closed, perfectly relaxed, saying, "Red truck Johnny's."
Yeah, well, at least he'll always tell you what's important. Tow truck filled with raisins.
He's so funny with Brian. Sweet, but definitely suspicious. He went up to Ma this afternoon and said, "Baby, stay here?" And Ma said, "Oh, yes." And she went into this long thing about his cousin Ryan, who's just a little baby, and thinks that John Reed Ryan is so smart and wonderful.
Did it take?
All I can tell you is about 5 minutes later, he was trying to feed her raisins.
Aha, see? Greater love hath no man, and so forth.
Oh, Frank, what was Delia thinking about? Taking him out of the hospital and over to their apartment.
Making a point to me and Pat.
What, that she's still little John's mother? And Pat doesn't understand how unfair you are to her?
Something like that.
Oh, Patrick, how are you going to survive the next 20 years?
Well, I must say that he handled himself well over there. When I walked in, I woke him out of a very deep, very sound sleep. He coped with Delia, cooled me off, and did not allow her to push him into the middle.
I want Pat to be married to someone who's so loving and smart.
Yeah,
Who will give as much as she get and who'll do her share.
but does he really want that?
Well, he had a chance at it with Faith, didn't he?
Yep.
Don't let Delia get her hands on little John.
Are you kidding?
I just needed to say it out loud.
Right.
Do you have any plans for the two of you?
It's funny, Ma and I were just talking about that. Not yet.
This apartment is turning into a Ryan commune. Brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and cousins and grandparents and everyone coming and going.
Well, we always said we wanted to bring up our respective kids with a family sense, right?
That's about it.
Grandpa Ryan's ring, huh?
You don't know how much I depend on it. It was the best wedding present I had from anyone.
Good.
You said the morning of my wedding, it was to remind me I'm a Ryan, and that my family loves me, and that no matter what, you're all there for me.
That's right.
All of which has been very helpful the last couple of months.
Well, I'm glad for that, Mayor.
I really will give it to little John one day.
That'd be terrific.
Will you be Ryan's godfather?
I thought you might want to ask Jumbo.
I want you.
You know I will.
Thanks. I want Ryan to have as much as I can give her of what we had. Of what I valued most about growing up. There's a good chance she won't have any brothers or sisters, so I want her to have you. As a Ryan and as an uncle, but as a godfather, too, because in so many ways, it's what you were to me. I learned a lot of good things first from Da, but they only really mattered when I saw them in you.
Thank you, Mayor.
You see, the thing is, Ryan may not have a father. So a godfather is twice as important to her.
Good night, Miriam. Edna and I thank you. Well, what do you think of that? She said hello, she asked how you were, and she said good night.
She's mellowing.
No more. You're going home now.
Uh-huh. Wow. Why is that?
Because I don't want to find myself getting into the habit of making love to you at every available opportunity.
Why not?
Because that implies a commitment that I am not ready to make.
Are you saying we're not going to make love anymore?
No. I'm saying that we have to be very careful and terribly responsible to keep the good feelings between us. For Edmund's sake as well as our own. And that we can't take chances in letting the relationship veer off into the wrong direction. Having an involvement that we can't extricate ourselves from if we need to. Do you understand that?
I think so, yeah. Don't like it much.
I'm sorry you don't.
Why won't you just uncomplicate our lives and marry me?
Stop that.
Okay, I'm not going to stand around here arguing with you all night. That's
Good.
obvious. Oh, one last question.
Sure.
How much of this caution has to do with your feelings for Frank?
I don't know.
Honest answer.
Honest answer.
Jack Abbott is used to getting what he wants, even if it takes a dirty move or two. But his enemies will do all they can to stop him cold. Don't miss The Young and the Restless, next on SoapNet.